Hello everyone and welcome to Octane Online Racing here on YouTube. Just having a few little technical issues, but we'll be online very quickly. My name is Matt Nipris. Joining me in the commentary box is Frank Frankford, or Franco, as you better know him as. Sorry, I'm reading your name on the Discord list there.
Yep. No, thanks, Matt, and hello to everyone out there in YouTube land watching the first round of the VRS Pro Series. This is what we would probably call the top flight for ACC and OOR. The best of all the splits, plus a few that aren't racing in the split series, all into the one area, which should be really exciting to watch here at a racetrack. We don't come here a lot. We're here last week with the sprint, but we're here with the Pro Series in Monza.
Yeah, back to Monza, I suppose. Not really a track that actually I think it's one of the only track that, not so much that I don't enjoy, but I enjoy less than the others. It's for me, I can't really get excited about Monza, but it always seems to produce some very close racing. And it seems to produce some pretty bad bins, especially turn one.
Yeah, I was going to say that being here at Monza means only one thing, and that's turn one, lap one, which can always lead to a lot of missed braking points, a lot of carnage, a lot of repairs in the pits. So it'd be interesting to see how these guys and girls and everything in between handle the opening couple of laps, because it's going to be super duper competitive in this first round.
I like what Brad G said just in chat there, the Colosseum of Catastrophe. Yeah, that's right, I was about to call. We all know that Assen is the Cathedral of Speed, while Monza is the Cathedral of Chaos. So, well, at least turn one at Monza is the Cathedral of Chaos. But, yeah, we've got our stream up and it's looking fantastic. How good was that intro?
Yeah, no, that was very well done. Obviously, Mullock spending the big bickies and getting a decent intro, as we also notice on the screen now as well, a fancy Dan new layout for the timing board. All the information you can probably want up there at the moment. You've got you know, the drivers as well, but also what cars they're driving, so it's going to make it a little bit easier for us here in the comm box to identify some of the drivers out there and what they're piloting. Obviously a fairly mixed bunch at the moment. A lot of Porsches, which is good to see. It seemed the Porsche had been drifting away in popularity in comparison to something like the McLaren and the BMW, but a lot of them getting out there today, which is good to see.
So, yeah, that's right. I was actually going to add the Honda has been growing in popularity as well. I'm seeing a lot of Hondas down the leaderboard as well. Yeah, thoughts on the Honda?
My thoughts are based purely on the initial time they brought it in, like the first time. I don't know, long time ACC people will remember that when it first dropped, and it was the worst car, almost a GT4 car. It was not quite ready for this game when they brought it in. So I haven't really driven it since, one, it was made better, and two, since the BOP has really sort of favoured it. It was always strong at tracks like Bathurst for some reason, but yeah, I haven't driven it a lot since those very early days.
That's actually kind of accurate for real life, though. The first iteration of the NSX was not very good. It was aerodynamically inefficient. I think is what I read. The Evo certainly got the Honda up there and winning races, and especially in Japan, where it is obviously from Japan, that is where it's most popular. It's up there in Super GT. It's up there in the Fanatec World Series. Also, really found a foothold in the US as well. But still, two Porsches on top at the moment. Make that three. So yeah, still Porsche, the beast of a car.
Yeah, which was it's really surprising. Early on in the early days, it was really notorious for being down on top line speed. So a track like Monza, you wouldn't think would suit it all that much, but just shows you how much it's come from those days where it was really good on the tricky and technical circuits, but pure out and out speed circuits like Monza, it really struggled. Spa was another one as well. It just really struggled sort of going down the Kemmel Straight. So Porsche proving to be a fairly good vehicle to use in all types of tracks if you can tame it. It was also very notorious to being tricky to handle and tricky to set up and get right. But now we just watch Burst get up there in the Honda, just 0.1 behind Karekis in the Porsche. But yeah, 3 out of the top 4 being Porsche, looking very strong for them at the moment.
G'day, Jets.
There he is.
How are we?
Actually fantastic.
That's a scary looking timetable right there. 47.9 all the way down in P23.
It's what you want to see. Nice and close racing, and yeah, well, got the best of the best in Octane, and probably some of the best from other places of the internet.
Definitely. As you can see, currently the best time is a 47 flat by Grantas. The best time we had during the Sprint Series in Asia Pacific was a 47.2 by Lucas Burrs. He is currently sitting in P2, beating that time with a 47.1. But you can expect people like Lamb, Giacomo, Samuel, Hignett, Kyrudin. They're all in the 47s during the Sprint Series, and they're all out there tonight. A couple of strange things with deliveries tonight, so I do apologise if things aren't showing correctly. Just Kunos ACC weirdness.
Feature.
It's fucking something.
Did they drop an update just 10 minutes before we were due to go live? Usually the way it goes.
It was one this week, but I don't think it was anything to do with that. But just some funky stuff. But yeah, it happens. We'll move on. The cars are still working, so that's the main thing.
A quick question. Am I seeing the safety car as a Nissan?
Yes.
I feel a little bit attacked by that.
Look at it. It's not out there, so we had to put it out there somehow. It's great to see so many faces out there tonight that we're familiar with. Some of them that you might not be familiar with, but if you've been watching SRO and things like that, you'll definitely notice some of these names, especially this man right here, and Dikarama. Currently sitting P11 with a 47.6. There's just so many in this series that can shake that podium right up tonight, and I want to wish all of you a very good luck. There's a couple that are missing tonight, a couple of sicknesses, and one unavailability. So hopefully we see them back next round.
Still 37. Good turnout for the first round.
Yeah, can't be too shabby with that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing when we see 37 cars occupy the same space as about 12 into turn 1, as usually happens here at Monza. It is a bit of carnage, as we mentioned earlier. Now, just looking through the timing sheets, only one McLaren I'm spotting at the moment. Malik, is that an accurate representation?
That is
or
bang on. We had to make the final 40. One of them had to pull out, so it's just Ali. He is the sole McLaren out there.
Well, that's a bit of a turn up. You would think from going back probably six or 7 months ago.
Oh, 100%. It's all those McLaren drivers have jumped back into the Porsche. There's one Bentley out there. This is this man, Benjamin Piper, per Mobile Esports.
The madman himself.
The madman himself. Yeah, if you definitely look at this series, 3-4 manufacturers pretty much dominate: Porsche, Honda, Aston, BMW. Then you got a splattering of a few other cars, but yeah, they're the main four at the moment. Even the new Audi's been taking a bit of a hit. So again, you see all those drivers move over to the Porsche as well. But it'll be interesting tonight. The Porsche isn't the best car here. It's solid, but you're really pushing it.
Oh, I just saw a livery just flash through there on one of the Porsches that warms my heart. I wonder if we'll see that a bit later on. It was multicoloured.
That's wide.
It's a retro racing livery. That is wide from Philippa.
Already cursed her. So she's dotting the number 1 because she's the last person in OR to win our pro finals. So she gets the right to use the number 1. So she's our current champion.
And she's also one of the ones that isn't in the sprint series, sorry, that's in this one. So interesting to see. Obviously, she's racing in other events and keeping her skills sharp, but interesting to see how she is compared to some of the other regular sprint drivers. But as you can see, towards the top of the leaderboard, as she normally is.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. She'll be absolutely flying this series, as will this man. Also not racing this sprint series, but he's gone bang with this livery. Is that? I don't think all of it's showing. There's something strange going on with this. Those colours are right, but that other layer is not showing. So hopefully someone in the background can work out what's going on. Another thing that's changed literally in 24 hours is VRS have launched a brand new website. So go check it out. I think it's VRS.live, perhaps. But they've also changed their logo slightly. So been rushing around trying to change some of the graphics as quick as we could in 24 hours is not easy. So all these drivers will have new liveries next week. G'day chat, how are we? What is happening? Some familiar faces out there. Looking forward to those questions there, Villalonga. Keep them coming tonight. We've got a lot of little information we can share and little nitbits about all these drivers. Even a pronunciation sheet we've actually put together. So there's no excuses to bottle things tonight, but
it's only 5 years too late, but anyway.
Yeah, so Bikini's liveries for some reasons. The all black. Maybe make it faster, strip all the paint off it. As she goes P1, and the first one into the 46s, 46.980. Wowee. That's blistering. Do you reckon we'll see anyone else into the 46s?
Well, we may see one. What have we got down on track? There's still a lot of cars out on track. Track temp 29, so it's not too bad. What do you reckon, Matt? Do you think anyone else out there's got a 46, or is Bikini going to be out there on her own?
Well, I mean, if I had the ability of any one of those drivers, if I saw Philippa go into the 46s, the first thing I'd say is, well, I can do that too. So I'm pretty certain. I mean, Grantis is very, very close to it. It's only a whisker out of the 46s, so I would expect to see someone else go into the 46s since the challenge has been thrown out there by Philippa.
Yeah, there certainly won't be a lack of belief amongst a lot of these, if not all of these drivers. Some of the best at their craft, so if they've got the belief. Oh, as we see, almost a loss there from Brad Cook. Keeps it under control, but you can just tell what that large curb does, unsettling the car through Ascari.
Yeah, Pigger, we're not quite sure what's going on. The download pack's been uploaded to us in our broadcast studio, but only some of them are showing. So we cannot figure that out. We've just spent the last half an hour murdering about 15 hamsters, and none of them gave us the information. Oh, trust me, it upsets me more than you. But let's look at the times. Still top 23 into the 47s. Benny Floyd is the back of that pack, and 47s are blistering around here. There's a few drivers have noticed on their driver information sheet that this is their least favourite circuit. I've noticed Chris Vining has said that. Luca Giacomin has said that. Benjamin Piper has said that. So there's a few out there just still doing all right in their least favourite track, though.
Well, I don't think. I think for these guys, what you would find is they have a similar attitude to me. It's not that they hate the track. It's just that they don't enjoy it as much as the others. And it is a bit of a. It's one of those tracks, really, isn't it? It's a lot of straight line brake, turn, straight line brake, turn. It's for me, it's not very exciting when you compare it to somewhere like Zolder, for instance, or Mazzano even. But as I said, Monza does tend to produce some very close racing just because of that inverted commas simplicity of the track.
What are your thoughts on Monza, Frank?
Personally, I love the track and I love this livery. Shout outs to the retro Apple Computers Porsche Racing livery. Fun fact, it was the only time Apple main sponsored a race team. It was, I want to say it was the late 80s with this iconic livery, sorry.
I do like it.
Oh, that's a problem.
Jesus, done well to hang on to that, actually.
My
He was
word,
out in the
yes.
gravel. He was out in the mulls and the gravel. Managed to save it. That's in a Porsche as well, no less.
No, going back to Monza, love the track. Obviously, it's one of those ones where you can just be caught out by no fault of your own at turn one. You just get involved in other people's incidents. But as a racetrack in Formula One, especially with the massive amounts of downforce, yeah, just really like racing here.
If you were to rank the 3 circuits that from Italy on this game in order of preference, why would you put it? Imola, oh, that hurts.
Probably Imola, Monza, then Misano.
Oh, I'd have Imola. I'd have Monza and Misano the other way around. What about you, Matt?
I would probably go the same. Imola, Misano, and Monza. Like, yeah, Monza just doesn't do it for me. I'll race there, but it just doesn't do it for me like Imola or Misano.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, here's one of those gentlemen that does not like the circuit. Currently sitting in P10 with a 47.4. He must have done a few laps around here. Good luck to you, Chris Vining. We've got a couple of North Americans also racing tonight. They've set their alarm clocks. Tim Brook, he's out there. I don't think that was him in the weeds, was it? No, it wasn't. And also got Kenneth Portis the second. Doing quite well, 24th so far. We've got basically a few seconds left to qualifying, and currently it's Philippa Paquita in provisional pole position with Grantas in P2. Lucas Burrs, Matthew Lamb on the second row. Can Paul Britt, he's currently up a couple of tenths, which can gain him a lot of places here. Potentially second row if he really nails Parabolica. Apparently Parabolica's name's changed, but I refuse to acknowledge it. Maybe I should.
Got the toe from the car in front, so providing it doesn't unsettle through this last corner, it's got every advantage to try and improve those couple of tenths.
Where's he going to put him? Up to 9th position. Great lap though. 47.4. He's done. Kai Rudin crosses the line. Stays 17th. And that is qualifying done and dusted for round 1.
Let's have a look at some of the names that are buried mid-pack, which just goes to show the quality of this field. Kai Rudin, Regan Herbert, Alex Bone, Hignett. They're usually near the front, especially Herbert and Kai Rudin in my split in the sprints. But here they're just a little bit buried.
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
Anything can happen here, though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thursday night, I think I started from 12th, and by the end of the first lap, I was up to 4th, just because of all the carnage.
Yes. Speaking of carnage, I don't know how to approach turn 1, lap 1 here as a comms, because I am. I've seen what happened in the sprint series, but it's pretty standard for Monza. You get, it's more clumsiness and Monza things and Constantina effects and all that. But once you get out of that little bracket, it just brings out the best racing here. But hopefully they don't get too tangled over the first couple of laps. We do have a safety car, which gets a fair flogging around here. So I do expect that we will see that lap 1, and I honestly prefer to see it lap 1 because it will single file restart. It gives everyone another chance if they've been bingled. But who knows? The sim racing gods might shine down upon us, and it'll be super clean for 60 minutes.
Yeah, everybody mentions turn 1, but it's also the second chicane is also a great spot for a lot of carnage, as people think yep, I'm through turn 1, I'm all right, and through Curva Grande, and then just another massive braking zone with a lot of cars, so be wary into the second chicane as well here.
Oh, even before that, even Curva Grande is notorious. Oh yeah, I'm through the first chicane, and then I'm going to have a crack, and then run out of room. Where there was, I don't know what split it was, maybe it was Beckett's, but if you watch back the Beckett's stream from the week just gone, there's a 4 wide there that's just ridiculous to watch back. It was ridiculous. I don't think they'll see that tonight, but who knows?
Well, they are sim racers out there. They are going to be very, very eager to get into turn 1 first, and it's not going to work if everyone tries to pole in there, as we all know. Just to go back to what you were saying there, Mels, how to handle turn 1, I think it's just going to have to be a lot of heads-up driving. Check your mirrors. Be aware of what's going on in front of you. Don't just look at the car in front. Look at the car maybe 2 or 3 ahead of you. That's really the all you can do, and just hope. Maybe be prepared to straight line it.
Yeah, you talk about looking at the mirrors. There's not a worse feeling in the world seeing somebody behind you missing their braking mark, barreling towards you, knowing they're not going to make the corner, and there's nothing you can do about it. We see the safety car head out and lead this field.
There'll be a few drivers out there that probably haven't negotiated our safety car as yet, so that'll be eye-opening for those guys and girls when that maybe transpires. So this is just
surprised to see Nissan out the front. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not actually. Ashton Reynolds set pole position in his split in the Nissan, and if it wasn't for a little Mr. Mina at the very start of the race, he would have won. Nissan is a lovely car, just not super competitive at this game.
Yeah, real shame. I'm willing to give it another go, though.
Yeah, you're in the Honda. It's there's Conan's ears are burning.
Yeah, Conan, how you going, mate? Good to see you watching.
Do we have any predictions for tonight? Who do we think will take the win here in the very first race in our VRS Pro Series?
Oh, jeez, it's going to be hard to go past Philippa.
Yeah, I was going to say Philippa will be very, very hard pressed to be beaten here. It's going to take a decent effort by the drivers behind, but she is definitely a class driver, and it's going to be, as you can see with that pole time, really throwing the challenge down to the rest of the field and try and take the win away from her.
What about you, Matt? What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, again, I'm still going to go with Philippa. She knows that Porsche like the back of her hand. She's very capable with it. Maybe Matthew Lamb will throw the gauntlet down and try and challenge, but geez, it's going to be hard to tell after 1 hour.
Oh, definitely. And we're throwing a little bit of a spanner in the works with 2 stops. So that is going to play a big part here, because nailing your pit stops isn't the easiest thing on this game. So if you're good at your pit stops, which I don't know who is and who isn't, I know I'm not, but I'm not racing, so it doesn't matter. But as you said, Matthew Lamb's another good shout. I think Gruntas is another good shout. Burrs, even you go through the order, Rush, Mutt, Smith, Sweet on his day. But anyone in that, look, anyone out there, if they get a win, I'm not going to be shocked. Unless this is a safety car. Then I'm probably not shocked either, to be honest.
Well, I mean, if you're on the track, you have a much better chance of winning than what I do. Let's put it that way.
That's it. Alrighty, good luck everyone in chat. Good luck drivers out there tonight. This is the VRS Pro Series. This is round 1 and it's at Monza. 4 rounds.
Take it away, Malik.
I'll bring us the start till the safety car comes out. Alrighty, we wait for green lights. Good luck, stewards. I think that's the one we should be saying right now. But what a bunch of drivers we've got out there. And they're away here. Green lights for the VRS Pro Series. In the back you can see they're around 10th. They're 3 wide. Oh, that's always a scary proposition coming down to turn 1 at Monza. Lucas Burrs and the Honda's trying to pierce a gap through the Porsches. Oh, this is going to be a chat mode, and he's gone into turn 1 in the lead. Oh, but he's gone a bit too deep, and he's going to have to give up a couple of positions there. And in the background, where I was looking before, there's a couple that have run wide. So far, it's just a few niggles, but we soldier on. Alikai Rudin, he's moved up a few positions, I think, but we wait for the leaderboard to sort of kick off. Oh, that was an interesting start.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them didn't quite make it to the first chicane. It was carnage all the way down the straight, but they were going 4 wide down that straight. And I know from experience, that straight sort of bottles.
Oh, it definitely does. But everyone's trying to avoid each other. So there's no safety car as yet. The orange twins of Floyd, Sweet. One's under pressure and one's putting the pressure on. Great start here at Monza. This 111 car is around. Who is that? That is Jake McKellar. So, the first lap, so far, just the usual standard Monza things. But this will be going on for a long, long time. Up in the front, we got Bakita still leading the way. She's going to take the lead after the first lap. Grunthouse P2, Matthew Lamb P3, he's moved up. Burrs has dropped a couple.
Burrs trying to go around the outside of Parabolica. Burrs with a really great start off the line and was challenging for the lead, but Bakita held a line and just gave Burrs nowhere to go on that turn 1. And Burrs had to run wide, so that's why he's down in P4 now, but challenging.
See, in the background there's a bit going on.
Yeah, I was going to say Lucas Burrs looking really, really hungry at the moment to get in front of Lamb. But just couldn't quite make the move. Stick around. Oh no, that's some sadness there.
Yeah, Lucas been sent around there. It looks like by Corey Sweets. One of those incidents where pretty clear cut what the stewards are going to give, but you can't keep focusing on it. You've got to move forward. Luca, I think he's been in the wars a bit in the last couple of weeks. Kafour in the inside here. That is Benjamin Hignett. That is a very pretty car, Ben. Hignett he was up and about last race here. Oh, in the background, is that a Ferrari or a Honda around?
It's a Honda. Chris Vining is dropping down through the leaderboard like a rock.
Yes, we have a look through some of the winners and losers out of the first couple of laps. You see Herbert Hignett, Ali Rudin up 6 spots already, but then you've got the likes of Callan Gibbons, 20 spots, and Chris Vining, 24 spots. So if you are stuck and get spun around, you will lose a bucket of positions in these early laps.
That early pit stop might be a big game changer here for a lot of these drivers. Like, an early stop doesn't really matter too much with your tyres. Are you going to come back into traffic? You should be fine. And I think we will see a few early stops tonight for that 2-stop. Oh, Piper looking... Oh, that's... No, you can't be doing that. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben. Oh, no. That's just not how you cook cucumbers in the microwave because, oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
they don't belong there.
That was some not great driving there. And it just led to absolute carnage in the run into Parabolica.
Yeah, just clumsy. Up the front though, Bakita, Grantas, Lamb, Burrs, Milana. He's moved up 1. He swapped with Stephen Ty. Top 4 haven't switched around. Position-wise, they've definitely switched around the first 2 laps on track. Oh, these two. If these two come together, I think the world might self-combust.
Definitely be fisticuffs in the Floyd and Sweet household. As I was just watching the timing screen for a second there. Grantis was only 0.1 behind Philippa, so Grantis is hanging around and putting all sorts of pressure on Philippa, while they have about a 1 and a bit second gap to Burrs in P3, who's got his own hands full with Matthew Lamb now. So watch these cars steam in towards Ascari. Such a tricky corner, so easy to get wrong, take too much curb, unsettle the car. It's so fast. and you do not have much of a chance to regain it.
I've also just noticed that there's a couple of cars in the pits, but the pit window wasn't open until 20 seconds ago, so hopefully it was just a forced stop. Well, not hopefully it was a forced stop, but either way, they're out of action at the moment because they're ready to be lapped. So a few hard luck stories early on. Herbert here and Hignett.
Hignett looking for the switchback coming out of Parabolica, and I think he's going to get this done by turn 1. Nice little drag race here between the BMW and the Ferrari. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? It's going to be Hignett, although I think Herbert just maybe decided probably best to slot in behind and not lose too much time.
Yeah, that's a good decision. It's just not worth it at times.
As soon as he knew he was going to be on the outside, even though he was still alongside, just knew he wasn't going to have the turn in. So pretty heads-up driving. That's sort of what experience gets you, trying not to fight those battles that you're only ever going to come off worse on. As we watch Benjamin Piper and trying to look at a move. I'm not going to get one there, and I don't think you're going to get one through the Lesmos. You have to be pretty brave here.
As I was mentioning before, we've seen Gibbons, Smith, Cesano, Rustafani, Rushmat, Morgan, Vining, Hind, all pits last lap. Alex Bowen had to pit, I think, a bit early before the pit window was open. So that was that incident we saw heading towards Parabolica, which there might be a few words exchanged there, but we move, and up ahead you'll see this continue on. Paquita, Grantas, both in the Porsche. Granta is not going to leave her alone, I reckon. Oh, and just ahead, who's that coming out of the pit? Oh, Rushmat's only just managed to get out. He's going to have to get the blowtorch on that car because he's going to have to be yielding to blue flags if he doesn't run away here. And unfortunately, the two people behind him are the leaders, and they are flying. Last lap, 47.5. So unfortunate there for Rushmat. 45 is around. I think that's Regan Herbert. That's
Tell
it.
you what, Caracas might be looking try and make a move on Paquita very soon. I'm struggling to remember the last time I've seen Philippa under this sort of pressure.
Oh, she'll love it. But it's just that unfortunate position where Rushmat is in. There is a two-stopper, so this is going to be quite a prominent little thing if you don't get your stop right early. And yeah, Rushmat well aware what's going on behind, and that's some good blue flag work there. Burrs is slowly catching as well, so a three-way battle is approaching us. Let's just check out the replay of the start with Lucas Burrs, as that has not worked whatsoever, as I was intending. It was a great little transition screen, though. What about that?
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Spending the big bucks, Malik, on the transitions, and as you mentioned, Lucas Burrs was out to about 1.5, 1.6. Now got the gap down to almost a second. So I think that might be more to do with Philippa and Grantas actually having an actual battle. You saw Philippa on the main straight going defensive, so they're probably going to slow each other up. So it's going to be interesting to see if those two battling is going to invite the likes of Burrs and Lamb into their battle.
Miles, how do we delete someone's comment on YouTube?
What's happened?
Peter's message there. Son got arrested for not taking a nap. He was resisting arrest. Get out.
Nah, that's fine. I'll try and fix up that replay thing in a second. Let's go a bit further back. Let's go through the field, see where we're sort of sitting at the moment. Oh. Who was that? Green car of someone. It's maybe blue flag.
That might have. Was that Grantas?
Yeah, is Grantas behind Paquita still? Yeah, still there.
Still there. Actually challenging around the outside through Lesma 2. And actually got a run as well. This will be interesting. He's on the wrong side of the track for Ascari. This is exactly what Lucas Burrs wants to see, though, and even Matthew Lamb as well. He wants to see these two going side by side into Ascari. Although I'm expecting Grantis just to slot in behind Makita for now, but now Burrs is right involved in this battle for the lead.
Oh, don't go out there! Oh my goodness, that's a good save.
He's going to be vulnerable here to Burrs, although Burrs is going to have to go the long way around. We saw how that worked last time, but I don't think he's going to need to outbrake. He's just right front. Lovely.
That's smart driving there, but not for trying to force that in the inside. This way you get a nice slipstream heading down to turn 1.
Just a question without notice. Burrs' livery, is that a nod to Need for Speed Underground 1? I'm sure someone in chat will confirm or deny that, but I have a feeling I've seen that livery before somewhere.
Possibly.
Yep, Conan confirming. Considering that game is, it's nearly 20 years old. That's scary to think about.
Getting old, mate.
Yep, happens to all of us. Meanwhile, this battle is now a three-way. Burrs into P2, Bakita still leading. And Grantis, who was all over the back of Bakita until going wide at Ascari. So this has become a three-way very, very quickly. And Matthew Lamb just 1.4 off the back.
I'm trying to look through the other battles, but it's really hard to take your eyes off the leaders at the moment because it's just not far from kicking off. We'll quickly cycle through. You can see in that mid-pack, so many car changes. But now everyone's kind of in the groove a little bit. There's some big moves. Hignet's up 7. We've got Benjamin Piper. He's up 12. There's a few drivers that have already made that first stop, but all that action is right up the front.
Grantis has got,
He's got past.
Lucas.
And still, no early pit stop for these leaders. I think what we've seen with like Rushmart being blue flagged, they don't want to fall into that as well.
Tell you what, the VTEC on the Honda has definitely got an edge over the Porsche at the moment. You just saw how much ground Burrs caught on Caracas down the main straight there. So of anyone, just a slight advantage. Obviously, Bakita and Grantis have the same machinery, but Burrs, with what looks to be slightly better straight line speed, may be a problem for these two.
All right, let's see if we can get it going now. The VRS instant replay. This is the start of the race. Keep an eye on that Honda there. The 420 car.
So you just see there, just sees a gap between Bakita and Grantis. Slides as it closes up. Did well, but you'll watch here, Bakita held her line and left Burrs just the outside and was just never going to make it. So that was pretty heads up, Bakita. Being under threat, but didn't panic.
You can see in the background a bit kicked off.
That made me so uncomfortable seeing the Honda squeezing between the two Porsches there.
Few more pit stops. Piper, Davis, Bracken, they're all in.
Corridon as well, just in 24th there.
Meanwhile, we've got Sean Glover looking at the back of Tim Brook. These guys currently battling over P21. These guys also the last of the pitters. Sorry, Matt.
I was just about to say, it looks like Glover might be carrying a little bit of damage on the front of the car. Not sure if that's really affecting him though.
So, starting to see another one, Charles now. He's ducked into the pits. It's Charles Clark, sorry. Meanwhile, Bakita has managed to steal a bit of a gap while Grantas and Burrs were having a bit of their own fight. And she now enjoys almost a second lead over P2. I'm going to assume that she didn't design an all-black livery for a race car this season.
No.
I'm looking at the name of the team, R8G Esports. It'd be Roman Grosjean's esports team, I believe. Oh no, this is never good when you see this.
Yeah, this is too many wide. Whatever number this is, it's too many and on the grass, and that's what's happened. There's no grip out there.
Somehow kept straight.
I tell you what, the rest of the field did really well to avoid that. That was so easy just to go piling.
That could have
on
been
you.
a 20-car pile-up. I don't know how it wasn't.
But
we'll take
as
it.
if every car was helping straighten that out of control car out. It was a combined team effort.
Teamwork. I think Corey was one of those cars that sort of copped it on the outside. You can see on the side of the Kazan Motorsport outfit. A little bit of scrape. As 420, Lucas Burrs has pitted. I think one other came in. No, just Lucas. So he's going to try for the undercut. Hopefully he doesn't come out there in traffic. See what he can do there. It'll be very interesting to see what the others do now.
Oh, I think that Porsche has just missed a break point. Yep.
Ooh, definitely.
Which one?
Just-
Corey?
Yeah, I think Corey...
Oh, careful!
Well, not the greatest of rejoins, but they all managed to avoid each other. Yeah, just caught a glimpse of it. Just saw Corey approaching turn one with way too much speed, jumped on the brakes, almost like locked up, went onto the grass and just knew it was going to be tears from there.
Yeah, not ideal.
So I think that's going to get looked at, and that Porsche of Corey's is looking more and more worse for wear as the race goes on, as almost again into the back of the Aston.
So the Aston's carrying a lot of damage on the back of the car.
Yep. Yeah, you can just see the amount of understeer now that Aston is struggling to get tuning. Maybe looking at doing their pit stop now. Let's see how they go through Ascari as we watch a replay now. As you see here, this is the Porsche of Corey. Just caught a glimpse of it. Ooh.
Nearly avoided, but grass sent him back across.
Yeah. I'd like to actually see what the break point of the Aston was there.
Late. He's just
Corey was late. I was wondering if the Aston may have just broken way too early and thrown Corey off, but no, Corey just missed it, so that'll get looked at. And Ben in the chat saying the Aston passed in the runoff. I think it was well entitled to pass in the runoff there.
I think I'd be sending it. And maybe a little bird flipped out the window as well, but like, we'll let that one slide.
As the great Murray Walker once said, I'm going for number one.
Well, actually, I was more thinking of, it was one of the GT1 races at Silverstone. This is years and years ago when they had the DBR9. I think one of the young drivers' academy cars got turned around by one of the Nissans, and he went down the straight shaking his fist at the Nissan and came a little too close. They touched and put both cars into the fence, absolutely destroyed the Aston, ripped the front out of the Nissan. It was just a whole lot of sadness.
Yeah, it's one of those things about combative sports. It just brings out your just most rash decisions and things that you would, if you had the chance again, you would think about it, maybe not do. But at the heat of the battle, it gets the best of us sometimes.
Yeah, I think they call that the red mist.
Yeah. Can be good if channeled correctly, but can lead you to a lot of trouble if you don't know how to control it. Meanwhile, we're watching Stephen Ty. I wonder if anyone's coming in for the pits. No, Stephen in the Honda in the background, and that's Andika in the Aston in front.
So I see Lamb and Britt and Sweet into pit lane now, so yeah. Oh, there's a car going straight ahead.
Porsche's
Sweaty.
decided corners are optional. Rekus has brought that gap back, as pointed out in chat. Grantis has got it down to half a second, so that fight is definitely not over, and it may be a strategy fight in the end. It may be who gets the pit stops and the traffic right.
We've seen a few more leaders pit now for their first stop. Matthew Lamb, Paul Britt, Corey Sweet. They're all in. See where they feed out. Kai Rudin is just coming around the start finishes. Kai Rudin ahead of Burrs and served a stop. If so, that man is flying.
He's actually come out in front of Lamb.
So has Lucas? Yeah, he has. Ali is in front. So I wonder if Lucas has either had a bad in or out lap, or had some damage to repair at the pit stop and decided to get it repaired for the couple of seconds of penalty.
Yeah, he's definitely lost time because Lamb's a little bit closer. Lamb wasn't too far back, so it's marginal, but Ali's just nailed his first stop. I'll try and suss that out. As Grantas is pitted, so the first out of the two leaders to pit. He's in.
Stephen Tyre joining him as well.
I've got memories in my head of Philippa being the last of the pit stoppers. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I just have this feeling that Philippa will try and run this stint out as long as she can.
This is a few laps ago. This is Herbert heading into turn one. You can see the Honda in the background just gets it all wrong here. And just into the back. It's one of those incidents where you just don't like to see. Nothing Regan's done wrong there.
Yeah, and that BMW, as you said, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll take the free two places as Tim Brook now is in. So somebody in chat saying it was a stop go 10 for Ali, and it wasn't a which obviously doesn't count to your pit stops. I've got a car around at the second chicane.
That looks like Steve Davis, the car 50. All right, well that makes sense. So Ali Kyrudin has served a stop go, which makes the pit stop a lot quicker. Hence why he's out ahead, but he does still have his two mandatory stops to go through. And Grantas and Burrs, there we go, they're back at it. So Burrs didn't stuff up his stop at all. Kyrudin was just the odd one out.
Yep, so Ali is out of position. Meanwhile, Lucas is hoping once again to put some pressure on Grantas. See what the speed of that Honda. We've seen it a couple of times. The Honda just having the edge on straight line speed into some of these longer straights, and counting their lucky stars, they're racing at Monza today.
Absolutely. But where are we off to next week? Where's the next track? Silverstone? No, not Silverstone. Someone please enlighten me.
As Philippa is in.
This is what happened to car 50 just last lap. Another one of those clumsy incidents into a chicane.
Ooh, yep.
Looks like Rialto Ristofani, if I recognise that number.
Yeah, that was very clumsy. It was a bit of a Willie won't he? Looks like he's not. Oh, he did. Oh, that was a car parked.
Oh, Cesano, can't park there.
Oh.
Can't park. He's just waiting for a mate. As Bakita has come out behind.
No.
She come out? No, she's just ahead.
Yep. And she's got a couple of blue flag cars around to use as a buffer. So solid pit stop there after the first stops. Bakita leads the way from Grantas and Burrs. Matthew Lamb in P4. These are the provisional places. And Dika, who currently on the leaderboard in the lead, hasn't served a stop yet. Either has Brad Cook, Michael Velasquez, Pickford or Ali. The leaderboard doesn't even want Kai Ruden's last name on there. Sorry, Ali, you needed to pay for extra letters.
Didn't realise he was driving a BMW.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same as
Subscription,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically.
Meanwhile, these two have a bit of lap traffic to contend with. So that is a really wide line there from Lucas.
Good save.
Yeah, you don't want to be out there too much. It's a bad place to be.
Oh, someone's offering the kitty litter ahead. That's Ristafani. Having a few issues in that Porsche at the moment. Just trying to get out of the way as well. It's easy to lose your nerve in these types of races. Just got to keep cool.
Yeah, especially if you don't want to feel like you're holding up the race leaders. You don't want to be involved or cause an incident. So, we'll just have a look at the gaps now. So it's about, what is it? About 5. Well, I'm looking at the leaderboard at the moment as it rapidly changes. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, Milana, Cook, Pickford, all have pitted.
Yep.
Where's Ndika come out here? I'm very interested to see this. He's had a great first stint. P7, Steve Ty, and looks like Paul Brett just ahead. So I think he was around the 5th, 6th mark, so he's got a bit of work to do. But he's a quality driver and a good human, and he'll definitely put the pressure on here.
Yeah, so as I was trying to get back to before, Makita now got the gap out to about 1.1 seconds over Grantas. And he has Lucas very, very close for company at the moment, as just about everybody except for Michael and Ali has just done his first, so only Michael and Ben Floyd yet to serve pit stops.
Yeah, that's right, chat. The old stick in the nose in thing we mentioned earlier in the week, something we're going to focus on in a couple of weeks' time. Plenty of incidents and data to show and go over in regards to that. That 4 wide and split Beckett's is probably something we're going to spend 3 days breaking down and messaging parents and filing lawsuits, and
it's gonna get its own Netflix special at this rate.
Drive to Survive could be a Netflix special for split Beckett's. If you don't know what we're talking about, tune in on a Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. AEDT to our broadcast, and you'll see action. That's basically the word. Right, who is really lighting things up at the moment? Charles Clark, 12th. He's up 13 spots. Cook's up 10. We've got Higdon up 10. You can see Velasquez is up 21, but he is yet to do his first stop. And this man, this madman, is on a pad. And he doesn't drive in real life. He doesn't own a car. He's an absolute monster.
He's going to have to pit rather soon, you'd think, as the leaders rapidly approach. They're still all within a second of each other. There's a couple of big gaps. The Hignet's enjoying 8.5 over Zachary Smith. And then you've also got Kenneth Portis. He's got 7.5 seconds to find over Rahmat. So still plenty of time though. Where are we? About halfway through this one.
30 minutes to go. We might have lost Floyd so far. It's a couple laps down. He might have served both stops. We'll suss that out.
just going to say about Lucas Burrs, I think his best bet right now would be just to stick with Grantis and not challenge him. Right now, Grantis is starting to close the gap a little bit. Was under a second just briefly down the main straight. So, well, Grantis is doing Burrs a huge favour by giving him a nice little hole in the air, as big a hole as a Porsche can actually punch, and it's just dragging Burrs along with him. So, yeah, great racecraft there from Burrs.
So how this series works is 4 rounds, but you do get a drop round, so your worst result will be taken off your tally, and then we average up your best 3 results. So if you've had a bad race 1, or you have a good race 1 and the next race isn't too good, you've got like a second chance. So it's always worth having a crack, and even just using it as practice if you've had a bad night tonight. So those like Floyd, who no doubt will use this as their drop round.
Yeah, it is kind of a shame though. You don't want to use that drop round early. You'd like to have a good round 1, have it in the bank, rather than drop your round 1 and know you've got a hole out here from the last 3 rounds. But this is why they're all in this split. They're all very, very capable drivers. As we look further down the field, this is Luca now in the BMW. Looking at the back of Charles Clark's BMW.
Yeah, Luca qualified a bit lower than I was probably expecting. BMW's okay here. I wouldn't write a book about it here. But he's up 2 spots from where he qualified. And I reckon he's going to be pushing that top 5 in some of these rounds.
So I'm assuming the car that they've picked for round 1, that's the car they have for the entire series.
Yep, that certainly is. They knew all the circuits that were being used for the round, so it was up to them to pick which one they think would suit it. Fingers crossed Kunos don't do a BOP update mid-season, which is the bane of my existence. It happens quite often, but that is just the way the cookie crumbles at times. But so far, 1 round, we're all good. It's close here.
Yeah, is Luca going to show the noses? Goes into, is ahead. You're going to make contact. It's not going to be too bad. You're going to have to say touch play on. Luca getting the job done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the car making the move absolutely clean, but the driver being passed probably maybe anticipated the car making the move to be passed just before the apex. Just clumsy little collision, but no one got hurt, so play on.
Yeah. Now, Charles gets the benefit of the slipstream. He'll have to try and make the move back as we go out to Ruckmut in P31. It's not having the greatest day, I would have thought, by his standards.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out what exactly happened to him at the start, because he did start in P7, had a great qualifying, had to pit early. I think he might have been one of those cars caught up in that kerfuffle at turn 1.
Yeah, you can see down 24 spots on the start, so he'd be driving angry, you would think. Currently 9.5 seconds off the back of Steve Davis. I think this must be lap traffic in front.
Just found out what happened to Rashmat at the start. So it was turn 1, and he was in front of that gaggle ahead, or gaggle that we can see. And the background's not great, and then the Honda just couldn't slow it up.
I would love to see what the actual initial breaking point of that Honda was, because it was late.
Yes, it wasn't early. I think the grass didn't help. Just watching it back on my other monitor, they've tried to avoid that 4-way collision. In doing so, they've put their right rears onto the grass, and it just extends your brake mark or your braking zone by a lot, and just couldn't pull it up.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Rangers is slowly catching.
yeah,
0.8 the gap between Caracas and Bakita. So Caracas well and truly into his rhythm right now. Burrs is, I don't know, I don't think Burrs has actually got the pace anymore.
no, it has looked like he's dropped back. It's down to second now, 1.2. So I wonder if Gratis is kind of broken Lucas, and Lucas no longer able to run with these two. As we look now, this is Demario, who's been everywhere today, it seems. And looking at a Ferrari in front that I don't think you got to get the bond back on if you handed that back to the rental car company.
I think that's Herbert who got spun at turn 1. That's such a comment here. But they've done one of their stops and they're only 16th. So Herbert's still had a fantastic race here. They've gained positions and they've been spun. That's not something that happens a lot.
I think Herbert actually got used as brakes by quite a few people this race.
Yeah, poor Regan. Yes,
He's a literal Gran Turismo AI. Just use it as the brakes, make the turn, all good.
Next race he'll turn up with a target on the back of his car. A literal target. Please hit here.
Yeah, that reverse psychology, I think that's what Herbert needs. Then no one will touch him.
He needs to get sponsored by a law firm. So this is Michael Pickford, who's up 9. One of the few, if only, Mercs running around at the moment.
Doing a great job. He was one of our latest entries to the series. We had 3 withdraw just prior to the season start. Pickford was one of our reserves and he's just slotted himself nicely. Nearly into the top 20 for the first round, which is a great result.
Yeah, and putting pressure on Benjamin Piper in the lone Bentley. Is that a Bentley in front, or was that?
Certainly is.
So
Sorry,
the two lone manufacturers are having their own battle.
So just up ahead, Milana has managed to get past Paul Britt and Hignett. So he's back up to P6, where he started. Just trying to go back down to where Gibbons is. There's Gibbo. He's obviously been involved in the kerfuffle early. And Ali, who's now served one of his stops, and he's in 24th. So a couple of drivers back here, not going perfectly swimmingly as they wanted, but they'll soldier on.
Yeah, Ali trying to make up positions after serving that stop go as well as the pit stop. So down 7.
Just see those gaps at the lead now, 1.3, 1.4. Just starting to open up. Not open up down here.
No, that's a dangerous place to be trying to get traction on the AstroTurf, as I saw one of the cars pull into the pits. I think that was Piper.
Piper, yep.
Ali now just sitting on the back of these. Gibbons, I think, was thinking about getting back into the racing line, and then just saw Ali was actually there at the last second, had to stay inside. So good heads up driving there, as Ali and Gibbons are going to fight it out down around Parabolica. Ali will have the inside run into the chicane. Gibbons slightly in front. Who's going to be the latest of the breakers? It's going to be Gibbons. Ali's going to give that up.
We have a car stopped on the run up to Parabolica. I think is that the 15 of Matthew Lamb? Oh yeah, Lamb is dropping down through the timing board. So I think Lamb has run into problems. He's actually teleported back to pits, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's huge. Lamb was running pretty well and now has gone all the way back into the pits, teleported. As we go for a replay now through Ascari. Okay there. That sounds like that seems like a hardware issue.
Yep, hardware issue. I don't think he could change gears. Oh, that's nice. So
Nope.
he was P4, P5.
Yeah, people say sim racing is not real racing. Well, you get real mechanical failures. That's immersion. I know it's immersion I could do without.
Oh, God, Rudin really pushing that McLaren, as Gibbo says, off you go, champion.
Yeah, Ali was one of the later of the pitters, so Ali probably still got a bit more time.
Yeah.
Before pitting, as we cut now, this is Paul Britt in P6. It's currently 0.6 of a second off Andika. We've safely negotiated some lap traffic.
So yeah, Sprit's up 3 positions. As we said before, Hignett's flying along. He's up 12. Zachary Smith. He's pushed his way a bit further into the top 10. He's sitting 8th for Alpha Venturi Racing. Brad Cook, he's up 12 spots. G. Coman's made his way back up into the top 10 where we expect him. So lots of great results. There's obviously some sadness, but you expect that.
Yep. Likes of Tim Brook and Michael Pickford up 16 and 13 spots respectively. That's a great effort from them. Get themselves into the top 20.
Yeah, so a couple couldn't make it tonight. Mitchell Weston is out. I hope you're feeling better soon, mate. Stefano couldn't get here. And I'm unsure on the other driver because that was the only 2 that told me they won't be able to make it. So, I hope all is well. Samwise is off to a Billy Joel concert next round, so he said he can't race this series. Priorities, I guess.
I guess. As we go down the fit, no, I'm not gonna slag off the piano man too much. As we watch this little battle now, Benjamin Piper looking at the back of Callum Gibbons. I think these guys have both served their second stops. I think Gibbons has. He pulled out of that battle with Kai Rudin to serve his second. So we're now with Benjamin Piper.
Almost from this view, you can just see how little Bentley is, can't you?
I can assure you that Billy Joel is not dead. He is 73 years young. And he's touring. Oh, it's just 73. I couldn't be bothered.
I mean, you'd have to see him now. There's not many chances left for Billy, I'd reckon. Not world tours. He may tour the US a bit, but I think world tours there'll be few and far between for him from now on out.
Yeah, but John Farnham keeps on having comeback tours.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have one now, though.
Unfortunately for the great man, yeah, that won't be happening. Shout out to John Farnham if you're out there watching, which I doubt, but anyway, you're the voice.
He will always be the voice.
You are the national anthem of Australia. Speaking of, I thought Robbie Williams did a great justice at the Australian Grand Final. Was your AFL?
There's Lucas Burrs has just come out of the pits, just still behind Grantis. So the first and second, Bakita, I think, still yet to pit, but as I mentioned earlier, she's generally the last of the pit makers in these sorts of events.
Yeah, if she's got that clean air ahead, she'll just keep racing into it. Very good with the tyres and tyre management, but as she said, get absolutely stuffed. Where I'm pitting now. You guys know nothing.
Well, I mean, I looked ahead and I saw 2 BMWs battling.
Yeah, I saw it.
Dive into pit lane, get away from that.
Yeah, I might tap on that too.
This is Ali Kai Rudin, who's made his way up into the top 10, still to serve the second pit stop, but not a bad result.
Yep, just keep fighting, Ali, for BDE Motorsport. I've always loved their colour scheme for their cars. Looks fantastic.
It's always worth it in these longer races just to stick at it and not hit the old Alt F4. Just never know what's going to happen in these last 15 minutes.
Oh, exactly.
Anything can happen, and usually does.
I'm
Love
gonna
Murray.
propose something. Do we need to make the close program command harder to do just to stop rage quits? Like if you've got to press like 10 buttons, would that make rage quitting harder and you'd be less likely
because
to do it?
you still don't want to be out there. As some people have found out, the unfortunate way, if you do need to leave these races, you just return to the pits and just casually go about your departure. Don't throw it into a fence at 300 kilometers an hour. It just doesn't look good, and it's a good way to kind of just learn to deal with adversity a bit. But yeah, I can understand if you have a really bad race for a few laps and you're just like, nah, my head's not in it now.
As watch Kenneth Portis and Corey Sweet have a battle over the last position in the top 20.
I think it's about 2 a.m. where Kenneth is.
Well, he's committed. He's in the. Oh, that's not a bad looking livery in the
like it.
tribute to the Air Force.
He's done well there.
Yeah, it's a great effort. But now he's under attack himself. He's got Corey Sweet looking left and right on him at the moment.
I was going to say, I think I saw a A10 Warthog in the back of that Honda.
Well, the thing about A10 Warthogs they are bulletproof and will fly with any sort of damage. So I'm hoping Kenneth is hoping for the same sort of results for his car, but he's got his hands full at the moment with Corey Sweet.
Matty says, any Black Friday sales for Simicube? Well, just come down to Tassie for the next one, mate. You can use my rig. Yeah, it sucks when you got issues like that.
Yeah, there's Corey Sweet just trying to fill the mirror, not showing the nose into Kenneth, but just letting Kenneth know he's there.
Yeah, Kenneth is one of the cleanest drivers around. He's also a fantastic bloke, and he's been. Oh, that's a good save there, Corey.
Yeah, you just see crossed up, got too much inside curb on the second Lesmo, and you just had to get out of the throttle a bit, and cost him a couple of car lengths there.
God, that curb is actually cursed. I hate it with a passion.
Yeah, it can trick you out. It's because you want to take as much of it as you can to get the run down the straight into Ascari as we watch Ruckmat and Demario as Demario gets the move done into Parabolica and moves up into P16.
Watch the slipstream from the Aston and the power of the Aston.
Gee whiz.
Look at that. But has he got the brakes of the Porsche? I'm willing to bet no.
No. Oh, that feels like it's deep. Rush Matt, great heads up there because he was not going to run it. He was going to run out of room. The Porsche was not stopping.
Yep.
This was a tuck in behind. Yep, here we go. Is that car behind in this fight for position? Yes, it is. It's Tim Brook. It's 3 a.m. Tim Brook. You think Kenneth has got it late? Tim Brook's racing at 3 a.m.
Yep. And he is definitely not lonely at the moment.
So, out of all those drivers on track, we've got Kai Rudin, Velasquez, and Mulana are the three that haven't finished their mandatory stops. As Mulana just pits now.
Just keeping an eye on the gaps at the front. 1.2 from 1 and 2, and 1.1 to 2 and 3. So they're still as dominant as you think one driver could be. They're all lapping in the same sort of lap time to keep that sort of gap.
Oh, they are. So fastest lap of the race so far is a 1:47.235 by this lady, car 1. But for example, Ground Task has done a 1:47.260 and Burrs has done a 47.440. So they're the three fastest on track. And they are provisionally 1, 2, 3.
Yep. And what that does mean, with all three of them being this close, this late in the game, one mistake can ruin everything. As we watch this battle once again, I wonder if we're going to get the same result. Fidel, once again, going to go around the outside. And this time is going to make the corner, but just too acute through the second part. But the Porsche goes wide into the gravel trap, and they're going to go side by side through Parabolica. No, Ruckmat decides to slot in, but does invite Tim Brook now into this.
Tell you what, they're going well to go side by side through Parabolica.
Yep, and they're not done. They're going to go side by side. Who's going to come out?
Ooh, little touch there, another little touch. And Tim Brook's going to be...
Well, it's back at... Yes,
No.
Timmy. Yes, Timmy. That is what we like to see. Live to fight another day, son. Not too wide, though.
I mean, I think if I was Tim, I probably would have tried it myself. Like, not sure if you're going to get another chance like that.
Oh, he'll get it. Don't you worry. These two, they're looking ominous. We've still got 8 minutes left. Here we go into our... Oh, Rushmat wants that spot. I've been quite impressed with Damario's improvement over the last few months. He's one of the main members of MPRGP. Regular features in our endurance series. Great bunch. They come down to Parabolica. Tim Brook, get ready, son.
Oh.
Get ready. Oh, you're gonna follow that Aston. That Aston is just an absolute jet. That's it. Tuck in. Tim Brook, 15 Red Bulls deep. Oh, the Aston is just a rocket. Here we go for the third time in a row. Side by side into turn one. Is Rushmark going to be left space again? He is. Is the Porsche going to run wide again? Not really. Little bit of a touch. Not sure if that was consensual. Timmy Brook said, no, I've had enough. I am getting involved. Get out of my way. Oh, that's the grass, Tim. That's not going to help your cause. Rushmat is going to send it. No, he's decided against it. Again, another driver that I've been super impressed with their improvement over the last year or so. He would have just sent that no matter what once upon a time, but he's awesome. He's a sensation. I reckon Timmy Brook's going to have at least another 3 chances.
Yeah, you can almost see that the impatience for Ruckmark there, it's starting to creep in.
Yeah, but he's just
I think I'm with
trying
you
to
now, Moles.
spook him.
I think he's going to make a mistake somewhere, and it's going to cost him.
Yeah, I think the pressure's coming from the clock at the top. The time is ticking down, so they've got to get a move done sooner rather than later.
Even there, he's too wide through a scar in his left room. That's a horrible corner to be too wide with those stupid curbs. But this is just great battling. Chris Stefani trying to get in on the extreme action here, drifting himself away around Parabolica.
Yeah, out of position, but...
Not out of style.
No.
Well, that's how you get onto the stream, I suppose. You just drift the Porsche casually. Right, take 4, and
he's
I
ahead.
think he's got him this time.
Yep, looks like Ruckmat has finally done it.
Just trying to give it out on this battle ahead. What's the gap now? 1 second. Burrs has just fallen away.
Yep. So 5 minutes to go. This is the tyres have probably just come off the absolute edge from their pit stops. And what can Grannis do in these last 5 minutes? Really just settle in and take the second place as a good building block for the run at the end of season, or is he going to put some pressure on Philippa in the last sort of 1 to 2 laps, do you
I
think?
think he'll put the blowtorch on, but I don't think he's going to force any moves. He's had 50 odd minutes to see what Bacchetti can do defensively, and it's going to be a fair task to get past. Another good battle going on here. This is the blue flag of Sassano. We've got Shady and Velasquez, and you can see that Aston's just going to say, come on, I don't need a tow, but can you give me a tow? And the Astons get past. Oh, just it's 7/10. It's maybe some blue flag traffic. Slow them up. Who's that back there? Vining's had an off.
I think you might just be getting out of the way of the leaders. Blue flags.
I think that car's going to need a panel beater.
Well, Chris has not had the greatest race down 14. Meanwhile, Grannis once again trying to put another surge on, try and close right up to the back of Philippa in these last, 3 to 4 minutes. So how many laps do we think we've got?
2 laps, I'd say.
2 laps after this. Where is Ali?
19th.
Yep, currently 19th with Callum Gibbons for company.
Both
So
of
even
those,
with
they've worked their way up to the top 20 again.
Yeah, only down 2 over the whole race, including that that stop-go penalty, so not a bad result for Ali.
So go back to what you said before, Franco. Like, Gruntas is right behind now. Like, not just that 1 second. He is striking distance away. What do you... If you get a chance here, do you send it? In the Pro Series?
It'd have to be a very good chance. Like, you would have to be 100% convinced you can make the pass, because Philippa will fight every inch of track, and you could end out worse for wear.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it come season end, picking up an extra couple of points here now. You're kicking yourself if you lose the championship by that 1 or 2 points.
Or it could come down to race wins. Who knows?
It could come down to race wins, but in saying that, like, if he sends it and bottles it and they both spin, that's probably more points lost. That might cost Bacchetti, but with the penalties this series, which we're trialling, for every 5 second worth of penalty that you get, you are deducted 2 championship points. And racing clean is very important. As we come up to the penultimate lap.
So just
And
goes back to my point that you have to be 100% convinced of the move that you're trying to get done. A half move is not going to be worth it, I think.
Not going to leave anything on the table, though, by the looks of this. Race Anywhere Sim Sport is there. He is ready to rock.
Yep.
But he's up against the best in the business.
Has Philippa ever had this kind of pressure before, do you think?
Yeah, Andrew O'Hara exists.
They're usually on the same team, though.
Yeah. No, definitely had that kind of a pressure. I honestly don't think she'd be feeling it. She represented Australia in the motorsport games, and I reckon that would have been a lot of pressure, especially in person. She's probably enjoying this. But you can see in the background, Burrs is ready to pounce. And just a quick shout out to Stephen Ty. Quietly gone about his business today, and he's in P4, qualified P5. That's an awesome result.
Yeah, some other good shout outs. Hignett, Cook, Charles also up a ton, over 10 positions each, so they'll be really happy with their work today.
Sir Charles.
Sir Charles, the large mound of rebound.
Yeah, that's my man. Mr. The number 34. If anyone knows, you'll know. All right, this is the penultimate lap. Coming at the last lap now. Gruntas is close enough, but they're both in the Porsche, so there's no advantage there to be gained. If he was in the Aston, for example. great car under brakes, and Bakita is one of the best under brakes, so I don't see... It's going to take a move. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to take a move.
You can just see there just a little bit with the slipstream, but not enough in the same machinery. Just wasn't enough go. Closes massively under the brakes here into turn 1.
Got a good run out of turn 2 as well. Right on the back of Philippa now. And with the slipstream through Curva Grande, it's getting closer. I think Philippa's just going to try and guide him to the outside instead of the inside. And, he's going to try it anyway.
Oh, there's contact, and this is what I was saying before. Gruntas has just knocked Bakita off track there. Not the easiest corner to go side by side, and it's not what you'd like to see. She'll be fuming.
She will be, but I don't know. They were virtually dead heat, side by side into that. It'll be a very, very interesting replay to look at.
I'm not liking being a steward for that one. That, for me, I think that was 50-50.
That is a big call for whether or not that's a pen. That's going to cost Grantis potentially the race win if he can negotiate Ascari, which he does. I don't know either way on that one. That's going to be a replay.
Either way, let's call it as we see it right now. Grantas is in the lead. He's made a move in the final lap over Bakita. So Grantas is going to pick up the P1 for the first race here at Monza in our VRS Pro Series. Bakita right behind, led pretty much the entire race. Burrs P3, great result all around. Stephen Ty around Parabolica now. He's going to be P4 and just quietly just gone about his business. Milana started P6. I don't know why Floyd's just popped up on that leaderboard. That's great effort there, Floyd. I don't think he's in the server. Paul Britt.
He'll be pretty screaming going, give him points.
Oh, what's going on? Jet Coman, P9. He's up 5 spots. Cook's up 10. I'm going to absolutely yeet that out of here. No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. We need to see what's going on.
Yep. As everybody's starting to filter through now. So it looks like Samuel will get P12. Velasquez in P13. Regan Herbert in the Sol Bentley.
Tim Brook didn't manage to get past Hasnam. He's held on, Hasnam. Rushmat, though, he disappeared. He's 4.8 seconds clear of these two. Good recovery there.
Yeah. So Ali will finish inside the top 20 after serving that stop-go early. Callan Gibbons, that was a tough day at the office for him.
Pickford, P21, great work there. Flatty Malik, he was right down the back too at the start of the race, I'm fairly sure. And Gafour, got to watch where you're going in the end of these races. That's not how you cook pineapples.
Well, that was a very exciting last lap, you'd have to say.
Yes, controversial. Very, one that we don't know the result. Let's be honest, we don't know the result. But at the moment, Grantas is the race winner. The stewards will take a beady-eyed look at that post-race, but that was a fantastic round one. Oh, I loved it. Great stuff.
Certainly was.
That's how you want to start a new series.
Let's just take a look at the race results. In qualifying, Bakita picked up the bonus points there. 700ths clear of Gruntas. Lucas Burrs P3. Lamb was P4 with Type P5. Lamb unfortunately had technical issues and dropped out of the race, but that top 5 pretty much unchanged. A few little swap-saroos. So Gruntas P1, Bakita P2, Burrs P3, Type P4 and Milana P5. Driver of the day, it's hard to go past the leaders, but if you want to look at jumping around, Hignett up into P7 from nearly 20th?
Yeah, up about 13, 14 spots was Hignett, so yeah, great effort.
somewhere. There is 19th. But yeah, thanks for joining me tonight there, Franco and Matt. Loved it.
No worries, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for putting it on, Moles. Well done.
No worries. We're going to go investigate why the liveries weren't showing correctly. But thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Great work all around. I'm knackered. That was actually sensational. So next week, or next time we're up to Silverstone, which won't be... Will it be next week? Yeah, it'll be next week. Then we've got a week off for the endurance. So keep an eye out for that. We're off to Silverstone next week. Feels like we've been there every second week, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Great work, chat. Thanks for watching. Possible play on. It could very well possibly be play on for that penalty. But nonetheless, we move. Thanks again. It's the VRS Pro Series. I'm Mull, and we'll see you next week for round 2. Until then, take care.